What is up, Top Madden? All right, so what are we gonna do today? We're gonna go through. I mean, it's like what we're week 13 here. So let's look at the playoff picture and go to kind of maybe some predictions, maybe some not. But it's way too early. But it's fun to do this anyways and go ahead and talk our shit. So let's talk about the playoffs. We'll start out here looking at the standings. Kind of identify who we think the top seeds are going to be, and then I have a bracket that we'll switch to and we'll go through. So, anyways, AFC. I mean, it's simple. I think. Um, I mean, he got his first loss playing a very, very tough Titans team that likes to hoard the ball, and not to mention he was dealing with trying to get a superstar story for defensive tackle. So a lot of trying to hold Henry to minimal yards, and then result kind of maybe putting himself in a deficit he couldn't hang with. But it was still close, and one loss isn't going to kill him. The Colts, very clearly the one seed. I mean, just look at the points allowed column. I mean, the only person even in his league is Ricky. So let's one seed there to the Colts, 2 seed. Very surprising, and the first player to clinch the playoffs. Or I don't know what Y stands for. Is that division? Maybe it's won this division. Maybe the Colts technically haven't won a division yet. That wouldn't make sense. But anyways, 9-2 the Steelers. Big surprise, but they also are kind of. I mean, they're under 300 points allowed per game. 3-game win streak. I mean, it's just the ability to play with that defense and run the ball. That it's Troy's game plan to a team. 2 seed there for the Steelers. 3 seed is going to be Willie. He got past his second P-Town game, so now it's kind of smooth sailing and just stay healthy for him. And trying to clean things up on defense. Here, the 4th seed, the AFC East. Obviously, I want to believe that I'll win, but let's look at this. The Patriots are scoring way more points in their games. It's fairly close. I mean, obviously 246 is probably best for, I would say, top 5 in the league. And they got one more, and the Patriots, I think I got a little bit tougher of a schedule. I got to do with Aaron Donald on the Rams. Fortunately, I get a forced win against Shrimp, but then I also got Allen again and Jets. So a couple things can go down. So what we're going to do is since and I got Ricky again, but since Ricky won the first matchup, we'll give him the respect he got in the 31-28 point game, and we'll go Ricky wins the division, and then I get the 5th seed, which is fun because that means we get to play each other for the 3rd time. I am going in for the so we have the 5th seed Patriots, 4th seed the Bills, 6th and 7th seed. So now we have kind of 3 teams to choose from. We got P-Town, Titans, and the Dolphins. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to the Titans because they're the only team in the league to beat the Colts. Special circumstances aside, whatever. Second, I'm going to go with the Dolphins because 257 points allowed to 414. P-Town got the forced win to go to 6-5. So I'm going to go with Titans as the 6th seed, and 7th seed squeaking in is going to be the 3rd AFC East team to make the playoffs. So there's that. Bubble teams, the Chargers, obviously. He's going to go to 5-7 at the end of this week, so it's going to be kind of an uphill battle for him. And I think the Texans, as they just took a loss to the Colts as well, are going to be out of contention. So that's pretty much it. P-Town's probably the best chance at a bubble team getting in, but it'll be between those 3. NFC side, boys. Let's do the Saints and the Cardinals at 10-1. I mean, there are some explosive offenses. Danny, I mean, 231. I think that is the best in the league, straight up. I think that's straight up best in the league. The Saints are number 1, though. So what I want to do is I want to, my thought process is who's got the easier division. And right now that is the Saints. So we're actually going to go with the Saints for the 1 seed. This is not to slight Danny. Danny is killing it, but in terms of just schedule plus roster, I think the clear easy route lies with the Saints, as I think the Cardinals have a way tougher schedule. But easily could be flipped. That puts the Cardinals at the 2 seed. 3 seed cannot be the Panthers because the Saints are there. So the 3 seed is actually going to be, what is happening? Is it the Packers? I think, should be. Yes, 3 seed is going to be Green Bay, barring any mistakes. I mean, that division's going to be theirs. And unless he slips up or one of these NFC East teams like kind of pulls away, they've been beating up on each other. So we'll go Packers for the 3 seed. For the 4 seed and the final division winner, I'm going to go with the football team. I'm going to go with Kyle. He's been great on defense. He's had 2 very close games. He beat Khalil, and then obviously the very close game of the week. I think he's got Donnie. Donnie's just a little bit too sporadic for me. So at the moment, I think that we're going to see the Washington football team as the division leader, division winner, which is kind of surprising. I don't think anybody expecting that. I feel like Kyle may have thought picking this team he was going to be in a rebuild. Now he's right there in the playoff hunt. So 7-4, I think they'll improve. Let's go to the 5th seed. That takes us back up to the Carolina Panthers. It makes sense. They're 9-3, very talented roster, very talented offense, and they are on a 5-game winning streak. So all is hot for them. The 6th seed, I believe, is going to be the Seahawks. Coming off, I mean, they remember 3 games they lost their 3 best players because of the custom offense playbook. Then he comes back and he takes Danny all the way down to the wire. Isaiah Simmons has to seal it with the game-winning interception, late pick 6. So I think the Seahawks are going to be a team that sneaks into the playoffs while all these, I feel like these NFC East teams are going to kind of beat each other up too much. The Seahawks, I feel like they're just roster-wise really tough to deal with Metcalf and Lockett and Wilson. Then you turn around and you got to deal with Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. He's got a good thing going down there, and he's playing well. So I'm going to go Seahawks. And then I know Khalil's going to be mad at me, but once again, we're kind of flipping a coin here for Cowboys, Rams, and Eagles. He could do it all, but what I am going to go with is I'm going to go with what I think is the better defense and who I think the better. I mean, they're so identical here. I mean, they're very identical teams. So I'm just going to go with the Eagles for the sake of it, just because they're a little bit higher. Cowboys could be flipped here. Either way, their matchup, I don't see them getting past the first round. So I'm going to go ahead and change this over to my bracket here. And this is what we set up here. So once again, the 1 seeds that get the buys, that's going to be the Saints and the Colts. I think this is easily interchangeable, but I don't think anybody has a question on who's going to get the buy. Let's start with the AFC side. So first is going to be Steelers Dolphins. This is going to be tough for Allen, and the reason why is because there's pass rush that's going to absolutely murder Allen's O-line, a rookie quarterback. Chances are he's going to be playing in Pittsburgh, so the weather's going to suck. It's going to fit a team that can run the ball, and his defensive line is going to get absolutely manhandled by a team that wants to run the football. So while I believe Allen to be more of a skilled user, barely squeaking into the playoffs is not the scenario you want to be in, and then turn around and have to play Troy. Now, this is where I think we'll see our first playoff upset, and that's going to be the Titans. Why? I think that Willie's team is very good, but he's in a situation where he needs to put up points. I don't think that he's going to be able to handle Derrick Henry is good. Chris Jones is going to be a big part of that, but those linebackers, I'm not really fully trusting to handle Derrick Henry, and Pitt just can ball control, and I feel like if you just force Willie to play defense all game, you're going to be in trouble, especially the Chiefs. So we're going to go with the Titans there. Just causing problems. Now, I gave Ricky those seats. I mean, we're playing in this scenario. I think I want to go. I don't know where to go. We're kind of dead even. We played a really, really close game. I don't think any of us is going to be able to handle pitches, maybe. But let's see. I think I'm going to go with the better defense here. And the better defense, roster-wise, is myself. But the better defensive user right now is Rookie, as he's been able to keep myself under 30 points. Cardinals, I believe, under 30 points, so we'll go Ricky. And that'll be the first round of those playoffs. Let's go over here. I think this is going to be the biggest butt whooping, whether it's the Eagles or the Cowboys. The Cardinals are going to cause absolute problems for them. They're not going to be able to hang, so that's not much of a question. Actually, you know what? I have to flip this a little bit because it'll end up being, I don't think it'll be like, I need to correct my bracket here before I get too far. I'm right in terms of the division, but it wouldn't immediately play 1 and 2 in this scenario. So we'll fix that as we go through. Actually, so this is the higher seed, and then so let's see. 1 would play. It would work like this, if I'm not mistaken. he gets the lowest seeded player, which would be the Titans. I know this is all jacked up, but I wasn't thinking about this when I made the bracket earlier, trying to set it right. So, anyways, that would be the 6 seed playing the 1 seed and the 2 seed playing the 5 seed. This scenario is going to lead to that regard. So, Green Bay and the Seahawks. I'm going to go Seattle. Why? You know what? Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing. Do I trust Pest to be able to win this game? He can run the ball. I don't know. Let's take a look here. Pest is, he's on a little bit of a losing streak. Seattle really can't score, but he plays a lot better defense. The rosters are built. I am going to give. Oh man, this is a good matchup. Not only is this like a great matchup historically in real life, but Jaire Alexander's so good. He could go in right there and play Lockett or Metcalf. You got Amos back there. Pass rushers galore. Here's the thing. I'm going to go with the team that can run the ball the best, okay? Carson's gone. Penny is superstar. Aaron, no, I can't even do that because Penny's superstar and he runs the ball. Man, all right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take Steele because I think that Pest is going to play well with Aaron Rodgers, but it's going to be too much of an adjustment. He might be a little too brave. There's going to be a turnover. But goddamn, I hope I'm wrong. This would be a great matchup. So anyways, that puts him at the 6th seed. Which means he would play Jordan in this scenario, and then the winner of Kyle and Dan. So Dan is got the very, very speedy offense and a very, very speedy defense too. You got Dante Jackson, but I just don't feel like he's been tested enough. Let me kind of look at Dan's schedule here and kind of see what kind of games that Dan's winning. I know so Dan gives up a lot of points. He's given up 52 points, 40 points to P-Town. That doesn't count. The P-Town one is good, but the other one, 30. He lost to the Bears, 34-31. Really, his best games are coming against teams that really don't score. Now, he did have an impressive win against the Buccaneers, a team that I thought plays well. And then he did beat the Vikings. But here's the thing. I think Kyle is going to be a little bit more tested. And he's going to be able to compete. And I think we're going to give Kyle the win here, which is going to give us a very fun buddy matchup of Danny and Kyle. All right. Now we have our seeding set correctly. Let's move back over to the AFC. This is fun. This is going to be another divisional 3rd round similar to down here. I'm going to go Warren. Warren won the first matchup. Second matchup, of course, we're going to give the four-time Madden 20 champion the benefit of the doubt. I think Pitches, that's going to be a fun one to watch because if Pitches can control the clock, but similar there, we might see some Phillip Rivers, we might see some Eason, but by then, I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to be just the go-to, and I think Warren, without any distractions, is going to game with ease. Steelers, Bills, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills here. I think that he's going to be good enough to force Troy to run the football or to have to pass the football, and that's going to put him in trouble. And I think that his offense is unique enough to handle the Steelers' defense. He's done a very good job against my defense, against Danny's defense, so I don't think the Steelers' defense is going to be much. But once again, these AFC matchups right here are brutal. Even if it was me versus Troy, those are some very fun defenses and run games to watch. It's not going to be as high scoring, I think, as the NFC side, but this is going to be a fun AFC championship matchup if it happens. Let's go over here. Steele versus Jordan. I'm going to go underdog. Why? Very similar to Dan. I just don't know if I exactly believe in Jordan's philosophy against playoff teams. The only team he's lost to was the Packers, and he got burgered, but that was week 3, so maybe there's a little bit of a benefit. He did. Oh, you know what? I gave all this credit to Tampa Bay for holding the Saints to 13-7. I never even realized that was. Jordan can put up points, but he's beaten Falcons, the Broncos, the Bears, and He almost lost to Shrimp. The Lions. He has not had the hardest schedule. In fact, he lost his hardest game and then had a close game with Bears. So he ends his schedule with the Eagles and the Chiefs and the and the Panthers. So those are three very tough matchups that Jordan can change my opinion. But until then, I feel like Steele is just going to have the better team to hang with with everything that Adams and Bobby can do. I feel like you're really going to force Jordan in situations where he has to throw the football instead of being able to rely on angle routes and the run and things like that. Now, if he can lock up Michael Thomas, who's kind of been the heart and soul of the chain moving of that Saints team, easier said than done. But I'm going to go Steele. I feel like Steele's going to have a little bit more success there and get himself a weird bid into the NFC Championship. Now, let's flip that. If we go Saints or Cardinals to the 1 seed, I don't even think that that happens. I don't think at all. I think Arizona's better fit as a user, but I feel like Steele can control the game enough against Jordan. But it'll be a fun one. Once again, these are all like super fun matchups to watch because of just how weird, like where the skill user base. I mean, Willie and myself with a first round out, Donnie with a first round out, kind of crazy. Dan, like that, like there's a couple champions in here, first round outs here. This one I think is going to be fun because it's a rematch of the only loss the Cardinals have. I do think he's figured it out. Interesting enough, if you know about, kind of beating Washington with their own recipe, I guess you could say, as Danny uses the Washington Redskins playbook. Or not Redskins football team. If like Danny wins the rematch and he gets himself a divisional matchup, that once again came all the way down to the wire. I don't think that he loses. I think he's going to advance to the Super Bowl. I mean, he's 10-1. The defense is clicking. We have not even gotten to see Isaiah Simmons in his final form. He's got Lurker, and he'll probably get his second trait here soon. So that's going to be bonkers. Isaiah Simmons, Ellis Reese Jr., 2.0, DeAndre Hopkins. Danny, easy shoo-in. This is going to be interesting. This would be phenomenal. Did they play each other? They did not play each other. Man. And something to point out too, these two will play each other this year. I didn't even look at the bill, but he's got, you know what? I don't know. I might be able to sneak that division out. If I can beat Ricky and he loses the Troy the first time, we'll see. But we'll keep it as is. That'll be fun. Tough end of schedule because he has Allen, myself, and Troy to end, and the Broncos defense, which Woke can sneak a game out on somebody. But anyways, I'm gonna go Warren because I believe that Warren is going to intimidate Ricky a little bit. They're boys. I think Ricky is going to be kind of timid. I mean, obviously it's tough playing this Colts team. But then I think we're going to get what everybody kind of predicted would be a Warren Danny matchup in the Super Bowl. I think we'll leave this here. I don't want to put any undue pressure on anybody watching. It would be a very fun matchup. So let's just talk about what it would take for one of them to win. Obviously, I think that Danny needs to come out flying. Because if Danny can come out slinging and take a 10, 13-point lead, 14-point lead early, Danny can stop the run. Danny stopped the run extremely well in terms of just shooting gaps. So if he can do that against a team that relies so much on Jonathan Taylor to help the rookie running quarterback, I think Danny can put himself in a position where his defense, his DBs will shine. By that point, we're probably going to see Budda Baker X Factor or Simmons X Factor. We're probably going to see some superstar linebackers. Reason why, go to defensive touchdowns and sort from highest to lowest, and you'll see how many Cardinals players are there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Hicks at superstar, Simmons at X Factor, Budda at X Factor, Byron Murphy might be X Factor. There's just a lot going on. And then second, Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is the sack leader of the league right now, if I'm not mistaken. So getting pressure on the quarterback is going to be huge. And then who has the better reliable target? And I would say that's Danny. But I would say who's the better user right now in Madden 20? 1. It's so close. They're both 10-1. They're in a class of their own. It'll be so fun. How does Warren win this game? Warren wins this game by forcing turnovers and not getting caught. Not getting caught being a little too risky. I actually watched the play earlier where he left Brandon Cooks wide open and the dude just didn't see it. I don't know if Warren can do that. I don't know if he's going to be able to. But if Warren can come out and like him put up the lead and then be able to grind away long drives and keep Kyler Murray off the field, that could be a problem. So, but I do feel like when it comes to how close they are, outside of his one loss where he was playing, outside of his one loss, I think, he hasn't really shown any weaknesses. He's never really looked bad outside of maybe the first quarter of a game, whereas Danny's had a couple really close games. So, it really depends on how much better Warren is than everybody in the league right now, because there's not going to be any dev stories to chase in the Super Bowl. So, who do you guys like? Let me know. That's going to be it for me, mainly because it's been 20 minutes. And catch y'all. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the playoffs turn out like this, because that would be epic. It'd be a fantastic season 1 if it worked out like this. Tons of great matchups.